Hey everyone, so it's been about 4 weeks since my last video, maybe a little bit longer. It's been a pretty busy time. I've had about 2 weeks with my girlfriend where we were just chilling out, spending time together for Valentine's Day and then my birthday the following week. And I've been at work and just doing other things, so I've not really had time to just sit down in front of the camera and do a new video. So we've done a fair bit of stuff, all of which I've considered like making a video about. We managed to complete Lego Dimensions, and I was right. It is a lot better when you're playing with someone else. Also, a few new films that we've seen, which I might do like review videos of at some point in the future. But there was something else that I wanted to talk about today, because one thing that a new thing that I got over the last couple of weeks, which is this hoodie. Nerd HQ hoodie. For those of you that don't know about Nerd HQ, it's an organisation set up a few years ago by Zachary Levi and David Coleman. Zachary Levi is an actor who I know through Chuck. He played the title character in Chuck. He's also done a lot of Broadway shows. He was in Heroes Reborn, played a main character in that. He also played Fandral in Thor: The Dark World, and I think he's playing him again in Ragnarok as well. Anyway, on to Nerd HQ. It's an organisation, a business basically, that they set up that every year runs conventions in San Diego alongside San Diego Comic Con. And they get lots of panelists along, people like Nathan Fillion, Alan Tudyk, the Walking Dead guys have done panels, Supernaturals have done panels. There's loads of different people from kind of like nerdy geeky pop culture, basically, that go along and do these panels. And it's just it's a smaller, more intimate event than like your larger conventions like San Diego Comic Con or London Film and Comic Con, for example. But they get as many people to come along, and over the course of 3, 4, or 5 days, I think, just run this convention, and it encompasses everything: TV, films, I think music as well, and video games. They do that as well. And it's something that I got into a few years ago, which it was a bit of a difficult time in my life. I'd just gone through a really bad breakup with a girl that I'd been with for nearly a year, and it was kind of another addition to a long list of bad relationships, failed relationships, probably the more appropriate term, but bad relationships. And I was back then quite, in my own head, a bit of a negative person about myself. I didn't really believe in myself as a person a lot. So going through this again, and it was quite a bad breakup in the way really I feel that she kind of dealt with things. It was kind of long and drawn out, and it was just a really, really hard time, and it kind of left me feeling more negative about myself, more negative about who I was as a person, being quite a geeky person, into video games, comic book movies, things like Babylon 5 and Star Trek and Stargate and all that kind of stuff, and Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all that sort of stuff. And it left me feeling like the reason why I was going through stuff like that was because there was something wrong with me. And I was kind of I suppose, without wanting to sound too dramatic, I was kind of at a bit of a crossroads where I was very close to like going, put all that stuff, stop playing video games, stop watching those movies, stop being passionate about those things that I was passionate about, and just go a different way and forget all that stuff. And it was probably over the course of a few weeks or maybe a month or so, I found out through looking up YouTube videos about about this Nerd HQ convention that goes on every year and has been going on every year since. Where just a lot of like-minded, geeky individuals all just come together and have a great time and help each other out and have dance parties and all that sort of stuff, and just celebrate the fact that they are nerdy. And it kind of led to it did kind of lead to a bit of an epiphany for me, because it's like it helped me to realise, I think, in a lot of ways, that there isn't anything wrong with me. There isn't anything wrong with me liking the stuff that I like. There isn't anything wrong with me playing video games or getting excited about comic book movies or getting excited about sci-fi movies. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff, because it's just a part of who I am. It's something that I'm passionate about, and that's what being a nerd is. It's you being super passionate about something. You can be nerdy about anything. You can be nerdy about cars. You can be nerdy about music. You can be nerdy about gardening. That'd be my mum. You can be nerdy about anything. It isn't just limited to that. It's just a thing where you are super passionate about a certain thing that, you know, just brings a bit of happiness to your life and a bit of joy. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And if the people that I've been in relationships with in the past don't get that, that doesn't mean that there's not something that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. It just means that the compatibility just isn't there. And that's ultimately just how it is. And it got me, for the first time in my life, really, into a position where I was thinking to myself, just be who you are, and don't hide it, and don't suppress it, and don't ignore it. Just celebrate it. Just own it. Just watch the things that you want to watch. Play the games that you want to play. Do whatever you do want to do that makes you happy and makes you feel like, yeah, things aren't so bad. You've still got this at the end of the day. Even if you have a crap day at work, you can come home and do that and it's all good. And Nerd HQ really was, pretty much the biggest thing that got me into that mindset. And it got me back into going to conventions. And it got me just doing stuff that I enjoyed and not hiding it and not being ashamed of it anymore. And when you consider that, the fact that that organisation can have that kind of an impact on not just one, but a lot of people's lives, it kind of shows that you've got something special with them. So since then, I've been buying the t-shirts and the wristbands I'm not wearing at the moment. Here it is, and I've got a necklace and all that sort of stuff. And I'd love to go along to one of the conventions. If I ever get a chance to, I will be there. I'll quit my job and I will go, and I will be there. And when you consider also the fact that not only do they do that, a lot of what they do is also raising money for a charity called Operation Smile, who raise money to provide support and medical procedures to fix people, well, not fix, that's the wrong word, but to help children who were born with cleft lips and palates, a lot of whom, if they don't get the operation, could die of malnutrition. The fact that they dedicate their lives to not only celebrating the things that they love and helping other people be able to celebrate the things that they love, and also are helping these other people to get these life-changing operations to children. Nerd HQ is a pretty special organisation, I think, and Zachary Levi and David Coleman as well, I think, are kind of heroes in our time for having not only set it up but also given so much of their lives over the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years maybe that's been going on. That yeah, they've got a very, very special thing, and they've done something amazing. And I know I've only bought hoodies and t-shirts and other little trinkets from the website, but it's nice to know that I'm doing a little bit of something to help them along with that, in return for them having done such a major thing for me, however unintentionally, a few years ago. So yeah, that was a pretty in-depth video, and it's gone on for a little bit longer than I thought it would, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'll come back next time I do a video. I'll talk about something a bit more fun. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I watched that with my girlfriend as well. That's quite a good film, but I'll talk about that next time. Alright, see ya, bye.